Everyone expected 2025 to bring a wave of deep interest rate cuts after the rapid inflation shocks of 2022 and 2023. But now, central banks are proceeding more cautiously. So, what went wrong with those expectations? And what does that mean for global trade? Welcome to India Business Insights. In today's video, we are unpacking a crucial development: falling interest rates around the world, but not falling as fast or as far as many predicted. We will explore expert projections from 2023 to 2024, what central banks are actually doing in 2025, and how this cautious easing is reshaping global trade. So, are global interest rates finally coming down? What to expect going forward, and what does that mean for trade between countries? In this video, we will look at the latest updates on interest rates across the US, Europe, Japan, China, and more, and how these changes are reshaping global trade in 2025. To grasp the current economic situation, it is helpful to look at the global backdrop. Over the past few years, central banks worldwide have faced challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chain disruptions, and geopolitical tensions. These events led many economies to cut interest rates to stimulate growth, followed by rate hikes to control inflation. This global trend sets the stage for understanding India's recent monetary policy decisions. What we expected in 2023-24. By late 2023, most market analysts were predicting a strong easing cycle in 2025. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan both expected the US Federal Reserve to cut rates by as much as 100 basis points. Traders priced in up to 6 rate cuts across advanced economies, assuming inflation would fall rapidly and economic conditions would weaken. But by mid 2024, inflation proved more stubborn than expected, especially in services and energy. As a result, the rate cutting cycle of 2025 is proving more restrained than forecast. Even in India, we talked about 3 to 4 rate cuts. Of course, in India, the ability to cut interest rates is often constrained by the inability of governments to cut returns on PF. Also, sharp cutting of FD rates does not work well with senior citizens. So, it is a political decision. The growth of investment in mutual funds also kept the effective interest rates high, with banks finding it difficult to get deposits. In 2022 and 2023, interest rates around the world were rising sharply as central banks tried to control high inflation after the pandemic. Countries like the US, UK, and those in Europe kept increasing rates to slow down spending and bringing prices under control. However, sometime around 2024, many markets started expecting a fall in the interest rates. This did not happen for a while. However, now in 2025, the situation has started to change. Inflation has come down in many countries, economies are slowing, and central banks are beginning to either hold rates steady or slowly cut them. In fact, a few global banks have started cutting rates. In fact, some, like the US Federal Reserve, have already made their first small rate cut this year. So while rates were rising earlier, the current trend in 2025 is shifting towards lowering interest rates. Interest rates. After COVID, prices for everyday things like food and fuel shot up worldwide. To fix this, banks raised interest rates sharply between 2022 and 2023, like hitting the brakes on spending. By 2025, things have calmed down. Prices aren't rising as fast, so countries are slowly lowering rates to help people and businesses borrow more easily. The world's central banks are navigating a delicate balancing act in 2025, adjusting interest rates to sustain growth without reigniting inflation. In the United States, the Federal Reserve has held rates steady at 4.50% after a series of cuts in late 2024, marking a cautious pause to assess the economy's resilience. Markets anticipate further gradual easing later this year, but for now, borrowing costs remain moderately high compared to pre-pandemic levels. Across the Atlantic, the European Central Bank (ECB) has taken a more aggressive stance, slashing its benchmark rate to 2.25% in April 2025, a bold move to revive stagnant growth in economies like Germany and Italy. Another cut is likely by June, signaling Europe's urgency to stimulate spending and investment. Meanwhile, the Bank of England keeps its rate at 5.25%, the highest among major economies, as the UK battles persistent inflation. However, pressure is mounting for cuts in the later half of the year to ease mortgage burdens and boost business confidence. In Asia, Japan's central bank made history by ending its 17-year negative interest rate policy in March 2025, lifting rates to 0.25%. This cautious shift reflects Japan's fragile recovery and its attempt to normalize policy without derailing growth. China, on the other hand, continues to cut rates, with its loan prime rate LPR hovering near 3.45% to counter a property market slump and weak consumer demand. Emerging markets are charting their own paths. India's Reserve Bank recently trimmed its repo rate to 6.00%, prioritizing infrastructure projects and affordable loans. Brazil and South Africa remain cautious, holding rates steady amid global trade uncertainties, while Indonesia keeps borrowing costs at 5.75% to balance inflation risks. As central banks diverge in their strategies, one theme unites them: the quest for stability in a world still healing from pandemic shocks and geopolitical tensions. The month ahead will test whether these rate adjustments can fuel sustainable growth or if new challenges will force yet another recalibration. How interest rates affect trade between countries. Interest rates have a direct and powerful impact on how countries trade with each other, and recent global events offer clear examples. When the US Federal Reserve raises interest rates, the US dollar typically strengthens as global investors shift capital to higher yielding American assets. This was evident in 2022-2023 when a series of Fed rate hikes led to a sharp rise in the dollar's value. As a result, currencies in many emerging markets, including India and Brazil, weakened. While this made their exports more competitively priced in dollar terms, the overall impact on trade was mixed. Higher borrowing costs and a slowdown in global demand, especially from developed markets, offset some of the potential export gains. In contrast, after the 2008 global financial crisis, the Fed slashed interest rates to net zero. The resulting weaker dollar boosted the competitiveness of emerging market exports, helping those economies recover more quickly as US consumers imported more goods. Now, in 2025, as the Fed has resumed cutting rates, the dollar is expected to gradually weaken again. A weaker dollar typically supports global trade by making US imports more affordable and easing debt repayment for emerging markets that borrow in dollars. Japan presents a different case. Its decision in March 2025 to end its 17-year long negative interest rate policy has slightly strengthened the yen. This appreciation makes Japanese exports like car and electronics more expensive for foreign buyers. Historically, when the yen strengthens, exporters such as Toyota and Sony have experienced a dip in overseas sales as their products become costlier in foreign currencies like the dollar or euro. China, on the other hand, has continued cutting interest rates to address domestic economic weakness. The resulting depreciation of the yuan has made Chinese exports cheaper globally, improving its trade surplus. However, this has also raised tensions with key trading partners like the US and the EU, who allege that China is artificially weakening its currency to gain an unfair advantage in global markets. Broadly speaking, when major economies like the US or China lower interest rates, borrowing becomes cheaper across the world. This encourages greater spending by households and businesses, stimulates investment, and generally boosts trade volumes. We saw this dynamic after the 2008 crisis, when low US interest rates helped fuel a widespread recovery in global trade. Conversely, rising rates typically slow global trade as financing becomes more expensive and stronger currencies make exports less competitive. Global trade dynamics in 2025, key interconnected factors. Number 1, global trade growth outlook. The WTO projects global merchandise trade to decline by 0.2% in 2025, a sharp downgrade from earlier optimism due to escalating tariffs and policy uncertainty. However, services trade is expected to grow modestly at 4.0% in 2025, driven by sectors like IT and tourism. The IMF notes that tariffs could reduce long-term global GDP by 7% if US-China decoupling intensifies, fragmenting supply chains into rival blocs. The IMF, however, does not specify the duration over which this fall could occur. Number 2. Supply chain reconfiguration. Lower interest rates in 2025, example Fed at 4.5%, reduce borrowing costs for logistics and shipping, easing supply chain bottlenecks. However, tariff-driven trade tensions, example US-China, are rerouting supply chains with Chinese exports to non-US markets rising 4.9% as companies bypass tariffs. Number 3. Commodity price swings. Rate cuts by major economies could boost demand for oil and metals, raising prices. However, UNCTAD warns of slower global growth, 2.3% in 2025, which may temper commodity demand. Lower rates also weaken currencies like the dollar, making commodities cheaper for buyers using stronger currencies like euro. Number 4. Currency wars and competitive devaluation. US dollar. Fed rate cuts weaken the dollar, aiding emerging markets but reducing their export competitiveness against China's yuan. China, PBOC's rate cut LPR at 3.45%, keeping the yuan weak, boosting exports of electronics and machinery but escalating trade tensions. Japan, BOJ's exit from negative rates, now 0.25%, strengthens the yen, risking slower export growth for automakers like Toyota. Number 5. Geopolitical and policy risks. Tariff spillovers. US tariffs on China are diverting trade, with countries like Vietnam and Mexico gaining market share in textiles and electronics. IMF warnings. Prolonged tariffs could shrink global trade growth to 1.7% in 2025, with advanced economies like the EU facing weaker demand for machinery exports. Emerging markets. Debt pressures mount as weaker currencies from rate cuts raise repayment costs for dollar-denominated loans. Critical policy challenges. WTO reforms needed to address non-tariff barriers and restore predictable trade rules amid rising protectionism. Monetary agility. Central banks must balance growth support via rate cuts against inflation risks from weaker currencies. Bilateral deals. Countries like Japan and South Korea are negotiating US tariff exemptions, reflecting a shift from multilateralism to deal-based trade. And that's a quick update on how falling interest rates are shaping global trade in 2025. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.